Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the second season of the Dead Realms. I am your humble DM, Tyler, and tonight we are going to continue an encounter we left off last week. But before that, let's just reintroduce some of our players. Some of them are new, some of them are returnees. So if you would like to introduce yourselves. Okay. No one wants to share. All right. So let's just do it from top of Discord down. So
Okay, so I am Ryan Peppers in the campaign. I go by Matt or Bebo, as you can see, and I am new to this campaign, coming from a different campaign run by, Matt.
Hi, my name is Ethan, aka Concrete Lobster. I'm playing a half orc druid in this campaign named Equus Equus, a horse breeder in another life. Very excited to play.
My name's Matt, but you guys could call me Fate. I'm playing a Franken Cockra Ranger named Stitchskin. He's a very fun character. Um, I'm also the owner of the Pocket Dimension, the Discord that's hosting this wonderful stream. The link is below.
Oh,
Yep.
hey, I'm Notable. I'm playing a Sklepion Bolts, mad scientist and excellent doctor. I am also new to this thing.
Cool, I'll finish it off. I am Sirius, playing Copper, a dragonborn monk, reprising my role from season one, but not the same character from season one. So yeah.
All right, and we are missing a player by the name of Bob, who is our cleric. Unfortunately, he is sick with laryngitis, so he will not be joining us for tonight. But I will be controlling his character mechanically. But without further ado, let's continue where we left off at season 2. So, you guys started in the sewers beneath the city of Waterdeep, where you guys have been hiding out for about 2 weeks. Every once in a while, trying to go scan out for supplies. You guys relatively do not know each other very well, but you guys are slowly starting to build each other. Some of you know each other, some of you may not. You guys were with a one of the captains named Carter, who was leading the pact of getting supplies, only for him to betray you after a bunch of mushrooms exploded, knocking most of you guys unconscious. And it turns out he betrayed you to a group of cultists. You guys were then locked away in a jail cell, but through sheer force, you guys were able to push through the jail cell and get your things back. But then you went into the next room, into this gigantic cultist room that you guys see right now, dealing battle with a cult leader along with his fellow cultists and along with some zombies. And we left off with Friar Fodal going down due to a blight spell. And it is at this point that we continue the fight. So Friar Fodal would be up next for initiative. So he already made his death saving rolls before stream, guys. So for the first roll, he did roll a failure. So for the players, just to keep in mind, and for those who may be new to my death saving rules, you need a 15 or higher to succeed. You keep failed death save, so with this one failure going down, if he were to go down again, he keeps that failed death save. And on top of that, if you roll nat 20, you get back up on 1 HP. If you roll natural 1, you're instantly dead. So, Copper, you're next beneath Friar Fodal. You see Friar Fodal just instantly go down with a blast of a green beam, and you can see like his skin is like dehydrated to the fullest extent to where he is like completely knocked out. There's 3 zombies that are in between them and your fell down companion. What do you do?
I get the pressure. Let's see. I'm going to take out the short sword I recently grabbed, and I am going to use my attack to attack the undead that's right over Friar.
Okay, sure. Make an attack roll. Get my green dice out for
Just an
these
11.
undead. 11 will hit them. They're very easy to hit.
Awesome. So that is for 6 damage.
All right. They have to roll a 6 or higher for undead fortitude. This one will fail with a 3. So by the way, these undead were the same undead that were hit with your breath attack. So they're kind of half melting, half standing up. So the first one you see hovering over Fire Photo, you just chop this zombie's head off, killing it.
Cool. I am going to do Flurry of Blows. And I
Okay.
am going to attack the undead that's in front of me. I'm going to see if the first attack kills it before I designate the target of my second attack.
Okay.
So, Flurry of Blows. That's a 16 a hit.
16 will hit. Roll damage for it.
5.
5 has to roll 5 or higher. Roll the 16. You try to swing at it. You take one of its arms off, but it's still like with like half of its body melting from your previous breath attack. Would you like to attack the zombie once more?
Yes, I would.
All right, attack roll.
That's a 14 to hit.
Yep.
For 6 damage this time.
All right. Rolled another 16. You hack away a piece of its rib cage and half of its ribs fall out. It's like it's barely keeping itself together, but somehow still has the fortitude to withstand your attacks.
I'm going to use my Drunken Master disengage that I get with Flurry of Blows, and I'm going to run up the stairs because I have 50 feet of movement.
Okay.
So how far would that get me up the stairs? The whole way?
How much feet of movement do you have?
50.
50? Yeah, going all the way up is going to cost you half that, so.
Oh, perfect.
So-
I am going to do that.
So you do slash, 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 whoop, and you just run up the stairs.
Then that is my turn.
All right. Equus, you're up. You know that one of your fellow comrades went down. And there's two half-melting undead approaching him. And you see Copper just leaving him there as he runs up the stairs in a fast motion. What do you do?
All right, first order of business is cast Healing Word on him. I'm not watching him die like 2 hours after I met him.
Okay.
Thank God.
Be better if it was 1 hour.
So how much do you do for heal?
A total of 5 points.
Total 5 points of healing. Describe what your healing. What is your healing word exactly?
My healing word is safety. It's just the one word. I want to overwhelm him with a feeling of calmness and safety, even though this is a stressful situation. He's with friends and he doesn't need to worry.
Okay. You say this word and he goes, gone. And then you see him just getting up. So he does take a level of exhaustion because he's coming back from near death. So he'll have a -2 to all of his future d20 rolls.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad he's up. And then next, I'd like to cast Bark Skin on myself.
So you cannot cast another leveled spell because you cast a level spell for healing word.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Use a
In that
cantrip?
case,
So you can cast a cantrip if you're able to, or do something.
yeah, I'll cast Shillelagh on myself then.
Okay.
I am holding my crook. And then,
All right.
do I want to move?
It's up to
I
you,
think
man.
I want to stay still for a second. I'm gonna end my turn here.
Okay. Stitch Skin, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'm going to continue the volley, and I'm going to keep shooting at my mark.
Okay. Attack roll.
It's a 13 to hit.
It will not hit. He dodges out of the way of your attack.
And that is my turn.
The leader dodges your attack, and if you recall, half of the guys saved their crossbow attacks. He goes, get that weird bird thing. He is shooting at me, and he's cast something on me. Do it now. And one of them is like, all right, boss, I'll do it. And then he's going to take a shot at you with his held action. But he fails with a 2. You just easily dodge out of the way of one of his attacks. Next is Mr. Ryan Peppers. You're up. There are zombies that have fallen to your grease trap and they're crawling their way up to the stairs. What do you do?
I'm going to use the same move that I did before. I form a moon with my hands high above me, and I call out to the Moon Maiden to ask me for the flames of the moon to burn these wretched souls.
All right.
It's a dex
So,
save of 12.
all right. That's a cocked dice. They rolled a 13. They rolled a 15 minus 2. So, all
What?
right. So, all right. We had a little technical difficulties, but we will move on. So, they rolled a 13 to save. Is that save or no?
What's your spell save DC?
Am I supposed to add a +4 to it?
No, it should
Isn't
say.
it? Yeah. If it's a, if it, is it an effect that requires me to roll a DC, or is it an effect that you have to roll an attack roll? Like what spell are you casting?
A Sacred Flame.
Ah, I see. I think that's an attack roll. Let me just double check because I don't have it read up.
It's a deck
Real
save.
quick. Yeah, it's a deck save. So does a 13 beat it? Your DC. It should be above your spell list. Should be like modifier spell attack save DC.
Modifier spell save.
So what's the save DC?
It's 12.
12. All right, they will
But
succeed in that.
question: aren't they,
Yes.
since they're crawling, like in the they have to roll again in case, since they're already down?
No.
I think he had them get up last turn.
No, we didn't. We just
Uh-oh.
knocked them
It
down.
was- yeah, like they were crawling throughout the grease trap with one of them still stuck in them. So at the moment, they're just still crawling upwards. But regardless, it's not a ranged attack. It is just they have to make the save, and they successfully did so. It doesn't impose any disadvantage or what have you. But nonetheless, you cast your spell, but somehow these crawling zombies crawl somehow or manage to dodge your attack. Anything else you would like to do, movement wise or bonus action wise?
Uh, yeah.
Are you gonna move? Bonus action?
I'm gonna, as a bonus action, summon my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And I am going to summon it. Where's that thing? Right here?
Oh,
Or no, right
okay.
here.
Okay. So just
It's
bring it up
the
closer
moon
here.
scythe again.
Right. It appears.
And I don't know if I don't think I can attack with it, but it was spawned right next to him, appeared right in
Yeah,
front
you
of
can
him.
make an attack in that same action. It does that whenever it spawns first. So.
Okay. So I roll for attack then.
Yep.
D20. 16 plus 4.
16 plus 4. That will hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Why won't this roll? I don't understand.
If you want to use physical dice, you can. So
No, it's okay.
okay.
Uh, 3 plus 2.
All right, 3 plus 2. Your scythe cuts into the cult leader. Goes and then at this point he says, "One of you get the cleric up there. He's attacking me." And this guy over here says, "All right, boss, I'll do it." Okay. He's like carefully aiming and taking his shot. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
You take 4 points of piercing damage as an arrow crossbow bolt pierces you. And the cultist goes, "Yeah, I got him, boss, I got him." And then the cultist leader will say, "Well, keep going at it. He must be dealt with too."
You said 4?
4 points, yeah. All right.
And that ends my turn.
Movement, what? Okay. Nothing movement-wise? You want to stay in place?
Uh, yeah, I'll move. I'm gonna back up a little bit because these things are gonna move next. Get closer to the people that we can fight together better.
Okay. All right. Top of the round. Asclepion, you're up. You have your crossbow bolts. There's a lot of stuff going around you. You're not really used to this kind of pressure. There is still the lever in front of you if you would like to pull it. But nonetheless, it is your move. What would you like to do?
I really want to pull that lever, but what if it kills us all? I don't think I want to pull the lever. So, let's say I were to throw a bottle of oil, like,
Uh-huh.
say, right around here. And then if I were to light that oil on fire, would it stay there for a minute?
Yes, it would.
All right,
Would
so
you like to?
Asclepion ignores the lever and he begins rummaging around in one of his coat pockets. Then he pulls out a bottle of brown liquid and he looks at the zombies and says, "Yeah, drink for you!" And then he just tosses it as hard as he can.
All right. What's your general dex modifier?
+3.
Excuse me. Sorry, strength modifier. My
Oh,
apologies.
+1.
+1.
Yeah.
All right. You easily do it. It crashes right in front of them as you intended. We'll just say that'll take a bonus action to do that.
I'm gonna light it on fire. Let's see. I do have it. All right. So, and then immediately he pulls out this strange-looking contraption. It just seems like a bunch of crap, and he pours a little bit of gunpowder into it, and he just chucks it at the oil that he just threw. And boom, explosion. I'm casting Firebolt.
All right. You cast Firebolt. No roll required. And this area is now covered in flames. So anyone that passes through it, they just take 5 fire damage flat. And they would have to burn an action to put out the flames. Whether the undead will know better or not, who knows? So.
Oh no! I didn't think about that. They're just gonna keep moving, aren't they?
So that uses your action, your bonus action. What would you like to do?
Asclepion, noticing that everybody's kind of backed away from this section, and slowly walks into the little crowd here.
Okay. It is now the zombies and the cultists' turn. These guys are just gonna crawl the whole way, and they are only gonna get up to the flames. And they are covered and doused in fire. They are not down to their last hit points, but there's flaming zombies flanking from the left. These zombies are gonna go, and each will make an attack against Fire Prone. And they get it with advantage because he is prone. But he has a high armor class, so we'll see what happens. So that's a hit for one of them, and a hit for the second. They will deal more than 5 damage, downing Fire Prodol yet again on the ground. You just hear him just getting clawed and scratched at. Let me just roll con saves for him to see if he succeeds. He's successful on both. So, you just see Fire Prodol going, ah, as the zombies are just crouching on him, going, and just tearing on his flesh. That's the zombies go. And, well, these zombies are gonna move like, so these are gonna spend their entire turn moving. These guys are gonna spend their entire turn moving. The cult leader will cast a spell magic on your spiritual weapon. He says, "This is a pathetic. Be gone." And your weapon is whisked away. Dispelled. And the cult leader that says, "Finish him off quick. We have much work to do." And he's starting to back away. And all the cultists will load their crossbow bolts and will hold their actions for future attacks. These guys are gonna go down here for their movement. These guys are gonna get into a more advantageous position. This guy will try to get much closer, and then this guy will try to spread out here. It is now Farfadel's turn. Second death saving throw, which is a second failure, which he rolled previously. So he has currently 2 failures on the board. Copper, it is your move. As soon as you run up, a bunch of shit happens. Explosions happen. Zombies are approaching closer. There's fire zombies coming from around. You turn around and see Friar Fodell getting chewed out by some zombies. What are you doing?
You guys need to spread out and kill the leader. Staying here is only gonna get us killed. And then I'm gonna run back down the stairs. I'm gonna get within 20 feet of the zombies before chucking my spear at the closest one.
Okay. So that would be this guy. So go ahead and chuck your spear.
Jesus, spear's chucking. 11 to hit.
11 will hit him. Roll your damage. And I'll roll for Undead Fortitude.
8 damage.
8 damage. This one goes down. You toss your spear, and it just puts this zombie right into going with his body like crumpling over. You just killed another zombie down.
Perfect. I'm going to use the rest of my movement, get a huge running start, and I'm going to try to kick the other zombie right in the chest to try to like push kick him away from Friar.
All right, make an attack roll.
That's a 12 to hit.
That will hit him.
For 8 damage.
All right, he has to roll higher than 8. He will fail. So you just dive kick him, for lack of a better term. You dive kick him, and then this guy that has just been like covered in acid, losing limbs because of you, and this guy just falls to a pile of bones, killing him.
I'm gonna use my item interaction to pick up my spear.
Yep, you do that.
Let's see. I use my bonus action. I already used my action. How much movement do I have left? I have 40 feet total.
You use, for dive kicking, we'll say 25.
Alright, so 25, so I got 15 feet left. How much, if I try to jump off the stairs to like here, how much feet am I dropping off?
5 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna do that for 5 feet, and then I'm gonna sort of strafe. That's another 5, and I'm gonna end my turn here.
Okay. You see a bunch of kung fu moves happening all around you, Equus. There's fire zombies approaching. Fire Photo is down yet again. And it seems like the cult leader's getting away. What do you do?
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is conjure my spirit totem, specifically the bear form, which will give us all 8 temp HP and advantage on strength checks. It's got a 30-foot radius, so give me a quick second to figure out exactly where I want to place it, but it can fit all of us.
Okay. Go ahead and draw your shape of where you want to put it. Yeah. Okay. So describe to me how you summon this totem.
Yeah, so it's a lot of waving my hands around. I'm trying to feel the nature within this area. Obviously, it's a building, so there's not a lot of it, but I can feel the mold and the fungi growing in the dirt. And I find that connection to nature, and I channel it into the shape of a bear at that location, and it gives us all strength.
All right. So,
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say the next thing I want to do is cast Bark Skin on myself.
All right, you can easily do that. So, you wave your hands to cast this bear totem. Little sprouts of fungi affect the area in which you place it, and spores come out of it. Non-toxic, but somehow, for some of you guys, you see what seems like to be a silhouette of a bear around the vicinity as you guys inhale these these um, fumes, regaining some strength and giving you more powerful strength in the meantime.
Is that
And
like
you
a
just-
buff to our attack?
So it's temp HP, 8 temporary HP, and strength checks you have advantage on. So like last turn Asclepion threw that bottle of oil and that was a strength check. He would have had advantage on it if I had done that last turn.
So
Also, this does give Bob 8 temporary HP.
yes, but it does not bring him up to unconsciousness, unfortunately.
Okay, I wasn't sure how that worked. I was just hoping.
So if you have an effect that gives temp HP while a dude is combat, they'll still get it. However, they're not going to be fully up. They need like true healing in order to get up. It's
Okay,
basically
thanks.
like putting a band-aid on like a bullet wound. It's not going to be as effective as far as treating it. So,
Okay.
yeah. But he will get that 8 HP once he does come up. Stitchgig, you're up. The fumes are in the air. There's fire around the corner, and you see that little leader that you have hexed trying to get away. What do you do? What do you do, Stitchkin?
How tall is the roof of the building we're in?
So right now you are 30 feet above, and there's 20 feet above you from where you guys are placing. So the height of this is 20 feet.
I'm gonna fly up 20 feet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep shooting. I'm keep doing what I've been doing. I'll keep shooting at the main cultist leader, trying to take him down.
Okay.
24 to hit.
You down. All right. Let me just write your down. Flying.
I put 20 feet under my token.
Oh, I see that. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And what you roll say? 24 or 27?
24.
Yeah, that'll hit him. Roll damage, good sir.
7 piercing damage and an additional D6 for Hunter's Mark. 1 more point of damage, so 8 damage total.
8 damage total. You shoot, and you see your little hex like doing more damage to him, and the cult leader says to you, "Kill the bird. He's a free target. Half of you get him." And out of the 6 of them, 3 of them will attack you as you are in the air. I'm just gonna roll all 3 of these attack rolls. Does a 12 hit you?
Nope.
Does a 15 hit you?
Yes. Meets it, beats it, so half.
Okay, so you will only take 2 piercing damage, and yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you to maintain concentration because the damage is just too low on your flight. And one of them missed. So the first one just completely misses you. The second one you dodge out of the way. The third one hits you, but it's not as damaging as it could be.
I flavor it.
Sure.
Like a spiritual bear kind of like form surrounds him and like blocks the damage.
Nice. All right. Anything else you would like to do, Stitchkin?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Mr. Peppers, you are up. There are zombies coming up. What would you like to do?
That thing in the center, is that blocking my view of that guy?
What, this thing?
Yeah, that whole center thing, yeah.
You have clear sight.
A what?
You have clear sight of him. It's not blocking you or anything like that.
Oh, there's no cover for him, basically.
Nope.
Okay, how many more death saving throws does he have?
Bradfordell has 1 more death saving throw.
And does he die instantly after that? Or if, like, the next round, I would be able
Well,
to
like
do
right now he has 2 fails, so it's up to you what you want to do with that info. So.
No, what I'm asking, like, if he
Yes.
fails this next death saving throw, does he instantly die? Or can, if
Yes,
the next
he
round...
will die. He will die, basically, if he fails his next death save.
Alright.
What will you do?
Because I can't get there walking fast enough, I have to kind of fly, but I'm not going to fly, like, high. I'm flying over here, I can move about 50 feet.
Okay.
And...
As you fly, the other cultists are like, "Oh, another flying creature!" And all three of them will attack while you're in mid-flight. Alright, so 10, 24, and 6. Do either of those hit?
24 does.
Alright, so you take 4 piercing damage, and just go ahead and make a concentration check to see if you maintain flight. And it's just a straight d20 roll. Excuse me, d20 plus your con mod, which you need a
16?
higher than a. Yeah, you easily maintain flight as you traverse. You take an arrow to your hip, but nothing too dangerous. And
You should move right there. And then I'm gonna lay my hands on the other bard, and moonlight shines down on him, and he gets up. It's spare the dying.
Alright, spare the dying. So spare the dying will prevent him from not dying. He is still prone, but you can rest assured that he will not die so long as he's in this state, as dim moonlight shines upon him, stopping whatever bleeding he's caused.
And then I don't think
Right.
I have any more actions. Bonus actions. That's all I can do.
Alright, bad guys go. So these fire zombies will take another 5 damage, and they'll crawl in. At this point, they are engulfed in flame and are approaching you guys ever so slowly. Slowly taking damage. And these zombies over here will go. 2 of them will make attacks against you. 16 and dirty 20 will hit you. You will take 6 bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws, Mr. Ryan Peppers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that I was reading something. What'd you say?
So 2 zombies hit you. You take
Okay.
6 bludgeoning, and I need you to make 2 Constitution saving throws, or risk being infected.
If one of them didn't go through his temp HP, the barrier, does he still have to make the con save?
Yes. Which it should be just a 10 or higher. He just needs.
And what is it?
D20, D20 plus your Constitution saving throw modifier.
$18 plus 1.
Yep, so that's 1 save. Now make the second one from the second attack.
Ooh. Plus 1, 4.
You are infected. One zombie hits you, and then as a secondary attack, the other one bites you right on the shoulder. You have the infected condition at this point. And basically what the infection condition does, it's a new condition that I just made up for the Dead Realms. Basically, you must either chop the severed limb from the body or risk being infected. The next time you go down, you instantly turn into a zombie, and you lose 1 max HP at the end of each long rest. If that hits 0 for your max HP, you will turn into a zombie, unless you find a way to restore the infection.
Would protection from evil and good affect that?
It would not. It would have to be some other magical means.
Does
There's
it
ways
count
to do
as a
so.
disease?
You aren't too sure.
That's fair.
All right.
So I have
So-
to cut a limb off or die? Is that what you're saying?
Bitten in the shoulder. What are you supposed to do? Just
Oh,
rip your whole arm off?
Christ.
Why is my cam not working?
Is that what you said? I have to cut an arm off or what?
You gotta find another way
You have to
to
cut this.
restore
You must
it.
cut the tainted limb, or find a way to restore it. Basically. The cult leader. Oh, we had a disconnect. Okay.
My cam working for whatever reason. There's OBS.
Okay, that's weird. All right. So, technical issues aside, we'll continue. So the cult leader will go over here, and he will say, as I think dialogue. Let them feast on the corpse. There's no point of wasting our time with them. Meet me at the rally point, but don't wait too long. And he'll dimension door the fuck out of there. And then, weirdly enough, the zombies that are all around you guys just like stand in motion like this and go and just look around, looking for its next meal. These two zombies over here start approaching these guys, and the cultists are like, "Well, what's going on? I thought they were supposed to be unaffected. I don't know, man. What the hell is going on?" These two zombies will attack the cultists with that 20s. All right, so you just see two cultists turning around and just randomly getting bit, like, ah, oh god, ah, and these two cultists are fucking dead as they're getting chewed by these two zombies. The rest of the cultists, scared shitless, will make their exit. This guy leaves.
Well,
This guy leaves. And then these guys are making their exit. So he can only get up to there. That action bonus act with a movement action dodge. And these guys will. This guy can only go to here. Alright, it's the end of the bad guy's turn. Oh wait, I did skip someone's turn. Escleffian, my apologies.
it's fine.
Your go.
Is Ryan down? Or just...
No.
All right.
I'm just hurt pretty bad.
So Asclepion watches as Ryan gets bit, and he turns towards the zombies, and turns back to Ryan, and he says, "As a doctor, I must do my duty." And he uses all 30 feet of his movement to run right behind Ryan. And then,
Okay.
grabbing a potion. No, giving somebody a potion is an action, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. He rummages around in his coat and grabs that healing potion that he had gotten from the compartment. And he just hands it to Ryan and says, "You look like you need a little bit of help."
I appreciate it.
So we'll say that's an item interaction.
Okay. I kind of don't want to block off Stitch Skin.
Those zombies can't touch him. Stitchkin's in the air.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in the area.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I'm not gonna block off our exit either. This is. I'm just gonna load my crossbow and hold an action.
To attack?
Hmm?
Okay. To attack?
Just hold my action. Yeah.
Okay. What action are you holding though? I need to know.
A crossbow attack.
Okay. Just let me know when you want to go off on that. Mr. Froddle, he is unconscious but not dying, so he'll just lay there looking dead but not being actually dead. Copper, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oof. So the exit's on the other side of this entire dungeon, correct?
Yes. And it looks
Alright.
like these two guys are heading up towards the exit.
And the zombies are the only thing that's blocking these guys from getting there.
Also hurting me pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just see a bite mark, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck my spear at the closest one.
Alright. Attack.
I love chucking that spear.
And
That's
who are
a-
you attacking? You were cut off on that end.
I am chucking my spear at the closest one to me, so that'd be the zombie. Yeah, right there.
Like this. Okay.
And that's a 21 to hit
That will hit him.
for 6 damage.
Alright. You toss the spear. These two zombies have not been touched in combat yet, so the spear is just lodged into his body going. So he is still up.
I'm gonna use my last key point for flurry of blows, and I'm pretty much gonna jump in the air and hit him with 2 kicks in the face.
Okay. Okay, your attack roll.
That is a 17 on the first one
That will hit him. Roll damage.
for 5 damage.
Alright. hold on. Let me roll for undead fortitude. He will succeed in that.
Alright, second attack will be a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Dang it, for another 5 damage.
With a 10. You jump kick. You try to do a spinning kick. You kick some body parts and organs out of him, but he is still somehow standing up, withstanding your blows.
Can I use my held action?
Yeah, you can. Let me just hold on 1 second here. Let me just check your range here. Okay. All right. So you say you're gonna go behind Peppers. So your will be here. Yeah, go ahead. Just make a regular attack roll. You're not at a disadvantage. So.
All right. So I'm watching Copper beat the living crap out of this zombie. And Asclepion noticed that he's having a little trouble killing it. And he decides to give him a little help and fires directly at its skull.
All right, make your attack roll.
It is. Oh my god. It's a 9 to hit.
That will not hit, unfortunately. You're like, oh, I got this, and then you uninstinctively pull the trigger too early before you can aim, and it just goes right past the zombie.
I am going to use the disengage feature of my flurry of blows. How much movement do I... I'm going to use the rest of my movement to try to get as far towards the exit stairs as possible.
Okay. Alrighty. It is now Equus's turn. What would you like to do?
All right, so what's that?
Did I get skipped?
No, you're
I
right
thought I
after
was
Equus.
before you.
Oh, my B.
You're good.
Yeah,
So the first thing I'm
it's
gonna
fine.
do is call back to Stitchkin because I see he's up at the top of the stairs, and I'm gonna say, "We gotta get the fuck out of here, man." And then I'm gonna jump over the railing like I saw my friend Copper do.
Okay. Based on that height, yeah, you don't sit. Yep, you just jump.
Forget about the prone person.
Well, the stairs, like, there's like 3 people on the stairs right now. I'm gonna try to run past the zombies and throw a knife at one of them.
All right, make an attack roll as you throw a knife at one of them.
$24 to hit. Rolled a
That will
19.
hit. Roll your nice. Roll your damage. And I'll roll for undead fortitude.
Damage.
Max damage. That's 7.
Wow. Okay. So, not only does the zombie have a spear in him, but now he also has a dagger on him, more specifically on the head, as this just topples like as the zombie crumbles to the ground with a spear and a dagger in itself. I'll
Hell
just put
yeah.
that here.
And as a
Say it
bonus
again.
action, I'm gonna move the bear totem to be closer to the exit, so it'll cover us on our way out. I'll draw that in a
Okay.
second.
Alright, you go ahead and do that. Next is Stitchskin. You hear the command of your buddy. What would you like to do?
So the big honcho dimension door like teleported out, right?
Yeah, he teleported out.
But all his homies left through that door at the far end, right?
2 of them did. 2 of them got eaten by the zombies, and 2 of them are trying to make their escape.
So I have flying. If I use an action to dash 100 feet of movement, I want to follow them.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get there.
When I go through the door, how far ahead are they from me?
Okay. As you get to the door, you see tracks. Well, it goes into like a hallway, and then there's a path on your left and a path to your right, where the path to your right goes right and up a manhole that you see is uncovered, and then you see a path that goes to the left and then pivots to the right. Both have tracks leading each direction.
I'm gonna go up the manhole with my remaining 35 feet of movement and see if I can spot him. Because I know it's risky to leave my homies behind, but I want to find where their hiding spot is. I want to track him silently.
Okay, so I'll just take you off the board temporarily. And you fly up, and you just see the city of Waterdeep, just massive horde of zombies filling each block and everything. Go ahead and make a perception check for me as I try to figure out this music situation.
11.
11. There is a lot of zombies, and you think you saw movement, but you're unsure whether that's undead movement or something else. But you look left and right, you don't seem to find the guy like any major shifts in movement.
Okay, I am gonna just keep in the sky and wait until my next turn and try and track him down.
All right. Next one up is Mr. Ryan Peppers. You're bitten by one zombie and hit by another, but one of the zombies is down. What would you like to do?
You said at the end of the turn, how much damage do I take?
You don't take any damage at the moment. I said at the end of each long rest, so it doesn't happen now. But you are infected currently, so. As I get music back up. So what would you like to do, my friend?
I'm going to try to call to the Lady of Silver, which is my goddess, and I form like a crescent moon, and I swipe at the zombie,
Okay.
and I have to roll to hit. I'm using guided bolt.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just look. Is that a ranged spell attack or a melee spell attack?
120 feet.
Ranged.
Okay. So it's a range. So if you do decide to do it, it will be at disadvantage because it's right in front of you.
Well, I thought it would blast it back.
The rules, man. I don't make them up. But if you wish to do that, that is, if you want to continue doing this. Unless you want to do something else. You could also just attack it if you wish.
I'm gonna continue this process.
Okay, so go ahead and make your ranged attack roll with disadvantage then.
That missed. Pretty good. I don't think I could get any lower.
Alright, so you try to cast, but this weird bite that has been inflicted on you seems to mess up your concentration, and you don't seem to finish the spell. And as you try to, it just hits right next to the zombie. Seems like this bite is doing more damage to you, and it could pose a problem. But right now, there's a dire situation in front of you. This will have to pass for the moment. Anything movement-wise or bonus action or what have you?
Well, the only thing I can do right now, because I can't risk getting hit again, I'm gonna have to try to fly up in the air so he can't bite me.
Alright. As you fly up in the air, the zombie will make an attack of opportunity. But he will miss. So he tries to swipe at you, but you fly up in the air. He goes,
And, well, I should be able to move, right?
Yep. So
I'm
we'll
just gonna
say
jump. I have to jump over there away from him a little bit because, and then I wish I could take that potion, but I was trying to get that zombie down before it hurt that guy again. But
understandable. All right, so you are flying. We'll say you're flying above 10 feet. So, all right.
All right, I guess that's the end of my turn.
Top initiative, Escorpion bolts. You see your comrade Ryan Peppers flying above. There is one more zombie that is right in front of you, and Friar Fodel, who is still face planted down, unconscious at the moment. What would you like to do?
So Asclepion looks at the group of his companions just rushing for the door, and he says, "Well, I suppose I'll just be here to take care of the dead guy." And then he runs forwards. And item interaction. Can I pick up that dagger that's on the zombie's corpse?
You can. Sure.
And I
You
pick up
pull
the
out your
dagger, and I shout to Equus, "You're not getting this back!" And what dice would you roll for a dagger again?
It would be a D4 for
All right.
damage.
After picking up the dagger, I want to rush forwards and try stabbing the zombie directly in its temple.
Gotcha. Are you proficient in daggers?
Let's see. Oh, no, I am not.
Are you proficient in simple weapons or no?
Oh wait, yes I am. I didn't see it.
Yep. So go ahead and make your attack roll, add in your dex mod and your proficiency bonus.
I just want to say for the record that this is a dagger I got from one of these cultists who kidnapped us. I don't care if you keep it.
It's a 21 to hit.
That will hit him. Roll your damage. So it would be a D4 plus your dex mod for damage.
6 damage.
6 damage. You stab him. This creature has not been hit yet, so you try to stab him right in the face. Then it goes, and you just stab him right in the neck. And as you pull it out, blood is like slowly gushing out, still out, going like screaming at his going. Seeming a bit angry.
Oh crap! That was
What
what
do
I
you
was
do
looking for. As much as Asclepion would like to run away, instead he's going to reposition.
I mean, you can technically run away if you wish.
He's going to reposition himself in front of Friar Photo.
Okay.
And he's just standing at the ready with his dagger.
Nice. This zombie will try to lunge at you as it takes its turn. Does a 12 hit?
Nope, it does not hit.
He goes as you duck under trying to change your position. These guys will run away. These guys will run away from combat. And he's going, come on, we gotta get out of here. Where do you say? Zarek told us to meet us at the rally point. Come. And those two will get the fuck out of there.
Into a horde of zombies.
These two
Go eat 'em.
zombies will just... These two zombies over here will just continue to munch on the corpses that they are eating. And then these fire zombies will take another 5 damage. And will go. At this point, they will stand up. And will just spend their entire movement. So, there's fire zombies. They're slowly dying, but at a slow pace. But they are slowly
15 damage right now. Oh my god, they're still alive.
Did those cultists mention where the rally point is, by the way?
Nope. They just say, at the rally point.
Damn.
Next, it is Friar Frodel's turn, but he is unconscious, so he will not take a turn. Copper, you are up. What would you like to do? You see the two goons running.
Copper feels slighted at being called out by Asclepion over here. So I'm gonna turn back. I'm gonna slint my eyes. He can't see it underneath my straw hat. I'm gonna chase after this zombie here. I'm gonna slide and try to lop off its leg with my short sword.
All right, we get attack roll.
That is a. Why is my rolls not showing on my screen?
15.
15 to hit.
Yep, that one.
4, 9 damage.
Nice. So you slash at him. He like buckles in and like almost crunches on itself, and it's just barely standing. It's on its axe, so it's going.
All right, I will use my bonus action to roundhouse kick it right in the face.
All right, attack roll.
There we go. That's a 25 to hit.
Yep, that will hit him.
For 7 damage.
All right. How would you like to kill this zombie?
I guess since I have.
Stomp him.
Yeah, I'm gonna stomp him. I'm gonna curb stomp him. After I slash him on his one knee, I'm gonna jump up in the air and just curb stomp his brains in.
Nice. So
That's epic.
you slash at the leg. Like I said before, it buckles, but then you do a do a front flip spin kick in which just curb stomps the zombie's head right into the ground. Just brain matter and just bones are scattered all across the floor as the zombie is dead.
Perfect. I am going to... Can I just use my item interaction to give my healing a potion to Friar?
You want to give your healing potion to Friar, or you mean Exclepian?
No, to Friar, to wake him up so he can start running. Like, he's face down because he has no... He's at
You
0
used your
HP,
action
right?
already.
Okay, I will just use my item reaction to pick up my spear, and I'll stand right over
Okay.
here.
Alright. You have a spear as you pull it from an undead corpse. Alright. Equus, you are up. What would you like to do?
All
There's
right.
fire zombies, I'm flanking them, and there's 2 zombies on the opposite side of you.
I get all of that, but Stitchkin just ran out the door into an unknown situation. And the way I judge it, if I dash, I can get just to the door. And so hopefully I'll at least see what he's got himself into. So I gotta look after him. I'm just dashing straight up to the door, and I'll move the bear token. I think it can move all the way up to the door with me.
Healed you.
Alright, so you move all the way up to the door. You move all the way up to the door, and you do see like a small hallway that eventually splits off into 2. That's what you see. You don't see a bloody Stitchkin. Speaking of Stitchkin, you are flying up in the air and looking around trying to find where the cultists are. From that same manhole cover, you see another cultist like popping up amongst the crowd and trying to blend into the crowd.
I'm gonna drop back down the hole. Something that is really common between me and Equus, which is bear totems and horse totems. Like, they like to carve shit. So I just drop it back down the hole to let them know which way I went. And I'm gonna go like full stealth, like stealth bomber mode, and just follow them.
Okay, so you stealth bomber, drop the totem. Equus, you hear a toot toot toot, like splashing in the water further down in the hallway. And just go ahead and make a stealth check for me here.
Yes. Damn, only an 11. What is with these?
Man,
The
I haven't been
cultist
able to
doesn't
hit a
see-
single thing, so don't feel bad.
Gotta switch to physical
As you
dice.
stealth bomber your way, trying to sneak off and try to make sure the cultists don't see you. As far as you know, the cultists are paying more attention to not getting eaten by the horde rather than seeing you. So at the moment, the one cultist that coming out of the manhole cover doesn't seem to notice you.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on them. To help me in tracking them, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark 1. Would they be like aware that they're marked?
That's a good question. Let me read the language of the spell here. Hunter's Mark. Boom.
It doesn't say anything about whether or not they'd see it. It's kind of a DM's opinion kind of thing.
I'm just reading the spell here, folks. One moment. I'm gonna say no, because to compare it to Hex they would definitely know because it's like sinister shit coming over them. But you're just marking them, like, hey, I've got my eye on you. So I'm just gonna rule it that they are unaware that they are marked.
Okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna track them and follow them. I have advantage on perception checks to follow them now.
That's cool. Mr. Peppers, you're up. It seems like their threat nearby seems to go away. The 2 zombies, you see 2 zombies just eating the corpses of the cultists, but you still see the fire zombies that are flanking your friends. What do you like to do?
I'm taking that potion that he gave me. I'm gonna drink it, whatever it
All right.
was.
You take a potion of healing, which is 2d4 plus 4 hit points you will gain. So roll 2d4 and add 4 to it. As you drink a potion mid-flight.
9.
You heal for 9 hit points.
Okay. Not
So that,
almost dying anymore.
so that takes up your bonus action to potion yourself. You still have your action. You still have plenty of food.
I'm going to touch the down guy to heal him so he can get up with my symbol, my religious symbol, and it's cure wounds.
Nice. Bringing up another cleric.
Why does this not want to roll? I don't understand.
I see four. I see 5 there. So
It didn't roll anything.
the roll on my end. Do any of you guys see the roll too, or is it just me?
I see it.
D&D Beyond told me he rolled a 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. D&D Beyond is having some issues, so
Oh, I'm not seeing anything. That's
Everything's
Okay.
having issues, yeah.
yeah.
well.
But,
So now we can all run.
yep. So Friar Photo goes. He gets another level of exhaustion because he's coming from death yet again. So he has 2 levels of exhaustion now.
Guy.
I saved his last death saving throw, so he didn't have to use.
Alright. Top of the initiative, Asclepian. You know there are fire zombies behind you, and you see Fire Photo getting up. What would you like to do?
God, there isn't really much I can do. Now I wish I could fly.
When you die, just switch to an Aarakocra.
Alright, so, Asclepion looks at, the Dragonborn, who he doesn't know the name of. And, I know your name, but Asclepion doesn't. And he says,
The Dragonborn, help up the priest. I'll go take care of my mess here.
and then he, runs up the set of stairs using all 30 feet of his movement. And,
Okay.
Could I use my
You see a
reaction to
foot
stop him?
Just ran. All right.
Could I use my reaction to just put my hand on his chest? Like, what the hell are you doing?
You can literally outrun a zombie.
Sure. So
Asclepion
we'll
Asclepion's
say
got bolts.
go ahead and make a strength check, Copper. Asclepian, go ahead and make a dex check. We'll have opposing checks here
Why is it my strength and not my dex?
because you're trying to stop him while he's
21.
trying to move.
Hold me back, bro.
I gotta have quick hands for that. That's only a
want to
17.
experiment.
All right, you try to stop him, but Asclepian's just way too fast for you. All right, Asclepian, you're facing 3 burning zombies. Their flesh is basically melting from their skin, and it's slowly seeping into meat and bone.
Be skeletons soon.
I want to experiment.
Oh boy.
Alright,
Which is worse, a zombie or a skeleton fighter?
God. Asclepion begins rummaging about in his coat once again, and he pulls out a vial of green bubbling liquid, and he says,
Yes, I haven't tried this before.
and he chucks it at the nearest zombie. I'm using acid splash.
Nice. So they have to make a save, right?
Yeah, dexterity save.
They fail with a 0.
Oh my god.
They rolled a 2 minus 2, so a 0. They will definitely fail this save.
I deal 5 damage.
Okay, let me roll all 3 of their undead fortitude. They will just succeed. So you're just seeing fire zombies, and now like half their skin is bones are just melting. It's a
Sitting
horrifying
fire
scene.
zombies.
You do still see that lever over around where you were last time, though.
Well, they're there, but I really want to pull that lever.
Who wants to pull that damn lever?
That's why I came up here. I want to know what it does.
User interaction. Do it. I'm out of the room. I don't care.
It's right nearby the zombies, by the way. It's like, as far as the lever, it's like right here.
You have to get through the zombies too.
Yep.
Asclepion sees a flaw in his plan.
Anything else you would like to do?
I used all 30 feet of my movement.
Yep.
Did you do any damage to them when your little ass?
They did damage. They just succeed on their undead fortitude, so they're still up.
Oh god. There's nothing I can do. I'm ending my turn, I guess.
All right.
Well, hopefully the flames will cure them.
They'll all take 5 fire damage. They have to beat a 5 for their undead fortitude. They fail with a nat 1.
Oh my god.
They just burn to because like, and then they just crumple to dust and acidic pile of goo and mess.
All part of the plan.
All part of the plan, the master plan.
These 2 zombies will just continue to eat their food. They're very hungry and they seem to enjoy that. Next it is Friar Fodel's turn. He will get up, of course. He will then do Second Wind as a bonus action since he has levels in fighter. He'll heal for 10 hit points, bringing him up to a grand total of 15. And then he's just gonna cure wounds himself because he is hurt really, really bad. Which he heals for 6. He's like, let's get the hell out of here. And because he has 2 levels of exhaustion, his movement speed is halved. So he'll only move. We'll say he'll only move 5 feet. So, boop. Copper, it is your turn. You see your friend getting up and just healing himself by like a lot. What would you like to do?
I'm using my action. My bonus action gets to the other side of the room.
Sure.
No, my movement or my action. I don't have any more key points, so no bonus action step of the win. But I think 80 feet will get me to about the doorway.
They'll get you past it.
At least the doorway. All right, perfect.
We'll say you are entering the hallway. As you enter the hallway, you do see, like, as like light starts to fade, you do see a switch to your left.
Do I see that's been pressed?
It is a switch. You see, like, it is at an up position. Excuse me, a lever. My apologies.
The lever's in an up position?
In an up position, yep.
Could I touch the lever to see if it's been moved recently, or if it's cold, it hasn't been touched?
You feel like that it hasn't been touched in quite a while.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. Alright, you continue down the hallway path. It is Equus's turn. You see Copper feeling the lever before continuing forward. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is pass on the info that Stitchkin gave me. I'm like, he's following the cultists. This is the branch they took. There's a fork up ahead. I don't know if Dragonborns have dark vision. I have dark vision, so like I can see the fork up ahead. And so, okay, yeah. Well, I'm like, okay, hey, there's a fork up ahead. This is the path Stitchkin took, and Stitchkin and I are kind of used to this pattern of behavior before, where he flies up in the air. Normally, it's like a deer that he finds or something we're trying to eat, and then I kind of stealthily follow him until we kind of corner it. So we're used to this pattern of operation, and so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stealthily follow in the direction Stitchkin indicated.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to give a hand signal back to the people in the room. Like, I was able to tell Copper because he's right there. But for the people back in the room, I'm going to kind of try to gesture that, like, we're going this way stealthily.
Alright, make a stealth check for me.
All right. It's a 10.
And as far as you know, you are stealthy. As you climb all the way up to the manhole cover and go up, you see that it leads it that you exit out from like an alleyway, and at the other edge of the alley, you just see like hordes of undead just walking back and forth. You do see tracks that go through the horde itself, and you see your buddy Stitchkin around the area. As far as you know, you're kind of stealthy at the moment.
All right. And as a bonus action, I can move the bear up to 60 feet. So I'm going to move the bear up next to me.
Sure. And we'll just say, as you're moving it, like, fungus just grows where you keep replacing it. So.
Oh, like in its path? I love that. That's a good effect.
Stitchkin, you're up. You're tracking your quarry. This cultist that you've held down with Hunter's Mark is like stealthily going through the horde, and then occasionally going through a building, and then occasionally going through the horde again, and going through like a small alleyway. That is what you're seeing. What would you like to do?
I am going to shoot an arrow wrapped with red paper back to the alleyway that I came out of.
Okay.
Signifying to Equus that I have my target spotted and I'm following them until I keep a distance from me. And then I'm just going to continue to follow them.
Okay. You continue to follow. Alright. Mr. Ryan Peppers, you are up. What would you like to do?
Out of here with the Dragonborn, man.
Alright. You fly to the exit.
I do a straight shot. Sorry,
Alright.
other cleric, you're gonna have to get there yourself.
Top of the round is Sclumpy, you're up. The zombies are down and the lever is still there.
Alright.
They're just a pile of goo and flesh and
Just a-
appearance.
This is like Saw. Would you like to pull a lever? Every time. Lever.
Esclepion
No
casually
is a great answer.
walks up to the lever, and he looks
Yep.
around the room and says,
Relatively empty.
and then he takes the lever, and before he pulls it, he says,
Time for an experiment.
and then he pulls the lever down.
You pull the lever. You hear the gate going up, and you hear,
Okay, can I put something else?
and coming from this is more undead.
Oh, can I put the lever away now? I don't like this lever.
You use your item of
You're
direction, and they're slowly
fine.
coming out of it. So yeah, there's still the cleric there, and it's just you and the cleric. Everyone else has made their fucking exit. So, what would you like to do, my friend?
I just want to note that all levers pulled so far just release undead. We need to remember that.
Yeah, I also
Yeah,
want to note that the cleric moves as fast as a zombie right now.
I'm gonna use the last 25 feet of movement to get the hell out of there.
Sure.
I'm
What about
halfway
the
down
guy?
staircase now.
Alright. The zombies go. These two zombies, they're just gonna spend the whole time eating. These guys are gonna look for it going,
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh.
and they are just seeing the fucking cleric, and they are moving forward towards him. Speaking of the cleric, it's his turn. Let me just look at all of his features, just to double check. Let me just look at all of his abilities. Class features. Okay, he does not have turn undead yet, unfortunately.
He's
But
infected
he-
too, isn't he?
No, he succeeded on his saves. I'm just looking at his options here, folks. A moment.
I feel so bad for him. I'm seriously. As soon as I find out you guys left him for dead, I'm gonna be so mad at y'all.
A damn lever.
You shouldn't have pulled that damn lever.
I need it to.
I mean, like, I'm up the ladder by the time you guys did this. I don't know what's happening, but holy shit. Like,
He's like,
oh,
Dragonborn are out the door. We're already following suit on you guys. They're just by themselves.
like, if my character knew that he could walk fucking 5 feet around and there's 4 zombies in the room, I would be turning back right now.
Sometimes you just gotta let fate play itself out.
We have found season 2's
DM was really making that lever enticing though.
Listen, you could have just decided not to.
You want to
pull
talk
it.
about horrible moves of
Didn't
the
he
year?
establish last campaign, like last round, that right when they pulled the levers that let those zombies out in the first place? I feel like he established that's what the levers do.
I thought maybe this one would do something different.
Wow.
They'll unleash
But
the
it's in your
friendly
character.
zombies.
Like, I get it. It's in your character to pull the lever.
All right. Here's what Friar Frodo will do. He will move his 15 feet here. He sees the zombie come up and he says, "Damn it, Exclepion, come on, we gotta get out of here." And then he just waves his hand and you just see his eyes go. He says, "Be gone!" And he'll cast Word of Radiance against all 4 of these undead. So they all have to make a save. Oof, it's not looking well. What save is this? I think
I
this is
don't like
con
being
save.
chastised by the half dead dude.
By the half
He doesn't
dead.
want to die. Con save.
I'm sure
I
he
mean,
doesn't
you're like,
appreciate recklessness.
bro, you're literally living rule number one of
you just
Zombieland
had to
right
roll
now.
21. Like that's
You just need to outrun your friend. You don't need to outrun the zombies.
I don't have to outrun anyone. I
So-
just fly above them.
Alright. So the zombies fail, and as soon as he says begun, the undead starts to glow this irritating glow, very much harming the undead. It seems to be doing more effective as it does more radiant damage. It rolled a grand total of 12 radiant to all 4 of them. So I'll roll for undead fortitude, natural 1. So with just a spoken word, all 4 of these undead just evaporates. And he says, "Come on, Exclupian, let's get out of here." And that will
You're
be
lucky,
his
man.
turn. Alright, so at the moment, combat is over, but these 2 zombies are just gonna continue eating. So, I'm assuming everyone wants to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And recover a little bit.
Yeah. You all leave the room following the path that Iquis is leading. Do you all follow the same path up the manhole cover?
I'm gonna follow.
You
I'm
all
trying to. I
follow
don't-
up. Alright, you all follow up towards the unmanned cover, and you are with Equus. And at this point, the arrow does hit the side, indicating that Stitchkin is following his quarrel, Equus. You, along with the rest of the party, including Friar Frodo, are with you.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is pass on the wordless message that Stitchkin just gave me, which is that he is following the cultists, but he wants us to stay back kind of stealthy like. He's got an eye on them, he's found the target. So we gotta kind of stay aware of our stealth situation, but also let's get to the action.
Why don't we just run away? Why don't?
Aren't we supposed to be getting supplies?
Yeah, like why are we chasing?
I
this
feel
guy?
like that's before we got kidnapped, okay? I mean, you guys can run away. I'm not leaving my boy behind.
But why did you send him after them to begin with? Like we just
Well,
wanted to get out. They were in our way. We're out.
I didn't send him anywhere, man. He's his own
You just
person.
said that was your guy, and
Look,
we
he's
know
my
that
guy.
he can't think for himself. Which
He
means
can't
you
think for
him.
himself. No, he doesn't use words the way we do, but he's just as intelligent as you or I. I don't think you
Right.
fully understand that. I'm not gonna let him do this to himself. I'm going after him.
The
Yeah, full
Scorpion
of shit.
speaks up and says, "Yes, I agree with the Dragonborn. Why are we following these cultists?"
Safety in numbers. What's good for the horse is good for the herd.
Also, I would appreciate it if we could find some kind of temple to heal this infected zombie wound.
You look at Ryan Peppers and you see like the bite mark, and you see where the bite indentation is, and like black veins. It's like spreading out throughout his shoulder.
Well, I'm a horse doctor, not a person doctor, but that doesn't look good. Maybe my disease magic can help you, but I'm frankly not certain.
Yes, I'm a person doctor, and I must inquire with the horse doctor. That doesn't look very good.
First thing we gotta do is get out of here, though. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna try to like throw up some signs to Stitch. It's like a disguised bird call, which it doesn't really work well because we're in the city, but we're used to roaming the forest, so all of our vocal calls are bird calls.
You're doing a vocal call?
You're doing a
I'm
what?
sneaking away. I'm
But it's
sneaking
a
away.
bird
I'm
call.
sneaking away. I'm sneaking away. I'm sneaking the hell out of
Game, I'm with Dragonborn.
And I'm just gonna tell
You said
we
hand
gotta get
signs.
the
I was
fuck
okay with
outta
it. The minute you
here,
said
like-
bird call, I was like, no.
it's the
No.
abort bird call.
No.
Yup. I'm saying, Stitch, we gotta go. I know you're almost at him, but like,
That's a
we
16
gotta
on
get the
stealth.
fuck out of here.
That's a 16 on stealth.
Okay.
Is there any way I can fly up and see if there's any temples or anything around that might have
Sure,
holy
make a
water that could cure this?
Sure, make a perception check.
A temple would probably be a good place to hide from zombies if you can find one.
True. Perception, where are you? $15. It's 13,
You
but I had
do
+2.
see, you do see a temple further down ahead. It would take you a while because of the massive forest, but you do see like a crumpled down temple nearby. You can't indicate which temple it is, but it's a temple nonetheless.
There's one over there. It's a little in ruins, but it could suffice, and there might be holy water that can cure this. And we can get
It's
some
probably
for
better than
future
nothing.
zombie bites.
Esclepion speaks up and says,
This isn't smart. It's been 2 years. You don't
At
think
this
clerics
po-
haven't tried this?
At this point, while you guys are conversating with Copper making his stealth route escape, and because Mr. Peppers is in the air, he's safe. But as far as everyone else on the ground, you just hear like multiple growls coming from the opposite side of the alley as one zombie just turns going and starts to make its way down. Raphael was like, look, let's just get to the temple and we'll talk there when it's safe. Come. And he makes his way.
You guys, we can roof climb. Here, I lower a rope that I have. And we're on top of the roofs, so we can get on top of the roofs so the zombies can't get us.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
climb up.
Alright, you climb up.
I'll go, but as he's going, he says,
Just so you're aware, I'm completely against this.
Alright.
Oh my god, I love your character.
As you guys kind of split up with Copper and Firephoto stealthily going their way through the horde, with you three and I guess Stitchskin, now knowing the Burke Hall, following them in tow, we're gonna take a break.
whew!
So we'll come back in about 5 to 10 minutes, guys, and we will resume play. So till then, grab your snacks, go use the restroom if you need to, and we'll be back soon. And welcome back to episode 2. We just finished combat, and now the party is kind of split apart, going to the same destination, but by various means. So without further ado, let's continue our journey into the Dead Realm. So play this music. Hopefully this is good music, but we'll find out if it sucks or not. So, you guys make your exit from the cubbyhole, with most of you reaching the rooftops into these broken down buildings, which once had, tall, elegant buildings would provide like service or housing for this area, but now it's just desolate and abandoned. Um, Meanwhile, Copper and Friar Frodel are trying to stealth their way through hordes of zombies, and we just make a stealth check for Friar Frodel. He has to roll at disadvantage. Rolls high on both of them, though. I don't know how. I guess his god is watching his dice rolls tonight. But he kind of makes it. He is still badly wounded from the being downed over and over again. But you, Copper, noticing this, are able to assist him as you guys are progressing your way through the horde, being undetected by the undead. Meanwhile, on the rooftops, you guys are traversing, occasionally hopping from building to building, trying to get to the same temple. You guys have time to talk amongst yourselves, or what are you guys doing while you guys are traversing?
They don't have to make acrobatic checks? See if
Oh,
someone
yeah.
falls off?
Well, 2 of them are flying, so that beats them. And then the other 2, I do need acrobatics checks, unless you could figure out some other way.
So a rope.
Yeah, goddamn it, Copper, keep your fucking mouth shut, huh?
No, it's just a funny idea, the funny visual. You guys are just jumping over. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Look, us horse trainers have lots of experience
them.
jumping from rooftop.
Yeah, okay, Square.
I've got
so
one of the.
2 of you are flying, and you guys can either decide to make acrobatics checks to jump from building to building, or figure out some other means, or try to convince me otherwise.
I don't think there's any convincing you, and I don't want to risk falling.
Okay. So go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
Can I send a message to them? How
15.
far away am I?
Hold on.
You're nearby them. You can easily see them. As you
Uh,
and Ryan Peppers are flying. So
Can I make it an athletics check if I use my quarterstaff as a sort of pole vault?
sure, I'll allow it.
Awesome.
I was just thinking I was gonna tie the rope to them, and we were gonna swing them over while I was flying in there.
Motherfucker! I rolled a goddamn 2. My total is a 7.
Okay. So,
Yeah, this
what
is
message
beautiful
would you
theater.
like to send first off before I tell you what happens, Stitchskin?
Stitchkin flutters his wings to the left twice as Equus is going for rooftop. Maybe that's what distracted him. He's like, "Oh, a message!" But essentially to signify that, like, if they want to back down, if they want to return to base, that he'll just mark wherever these guys go so they can return later. And that's something they commonly do with hunting. Is Stitchskin will mark a spot that he knows that they need to return to.
So we're like, this is where the beaver den is. We can come back here whenever, you know.
Yeah.
While you're trying to read the message, Asclepian, you make it, no problem. You try to pole vault it, but this messaging distracts you, and you didn't push enough to get you to across, and now you're just dangling 10 feet off from the building and into a sea of zombies. And you, flying birds, and Asclepian do see this as he is hanging off the edge.
I want to try to pull myself up, and I'm going to scream, help! Or
Bring the rope to him so he can tie himself to it, and I'm landing on one of the buildings, so the rest of us can pull him up.
yeah, I'm pretty
Easily
good with
enough
knots. Like harnessing up horses and stuff.
Easy enough to do. You tie yourself, and with the help of your feathered friends, and you are able to pull Equus up, no problem. You guys are getting closer to the temple.
As he's pulled up,
I owe you
Asclepion,
one.
Asclepion says,
I told you this was a bad idea.
This is a great idea. What do you mean?
Maybe if I was a human doctor, I would have known that.
I mean, would you rather be down there with all them things that could eat you?
Oh no, I am eternally grateful, my guy. I will recompensate you when we get to safety.
Oh man.
We still have to confront the guy who did this to us.
Do we
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Do we really have to?
Oh, Stitchkin's gonna crush his head in his claws.
Alright.
Your
You guys
character
make
reminds me of an owl. With owl pellet
guys-
bones.
You guys make conversation as you continue your way to the temple. You guys eventually make it through the temple with Copper and Friar Froddle waiting nearby, and you guys see Copper and Friar Froddle entering what used to be the gates of this temple, now kind of subhaphazardly just standing on its own, just trying to like keep itself up. If you guys want to try to figure out what kind of temple this is based off architecture, you can make a religion check. Otherwise, it's optional.
19.
This Gleprion puts his hands up and says, "I'm a man of science, not God."
It's 8,
12.
12. Yeah, so let me just roll for Fred because he's gonna check it. Okay.
Since
So-
I'm proficient, do I get another roll for it?
This would be a majority check. Luckily, most of you succeed. For those who wanted to participate. So you guys, the people who care to know, this is the Temple of Timora, the goddess of luck, or what used to be a Temple of Timora, the goddess of luck.
Well, maybe
the
we can be
temple.
lucky here and find some safety and some holy water to cure this wound and have backup.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I think the first thing we should do is look around to secure the area. Or maybe there are some zombies hiding in this temple. I'd like to be sure there aren't.
Can zombies walk on holy ground?
I don't want to find out thinking I'm safe. I'd rather just look around first and make sure there aren't any zombies here. And maybe I'll find some holy water while we're looking around.
Same.
Friar Frodo will sit down near the gates and says, "I'll keep a watch on the gates. I could use their rest anyway." And you can see like he's hurt bad.
Pat Friar Frodo in the shoulder, and I'm gonna head inside the temple.
Okay. You head into the temple. Copper, as you head into the temple, you kind of had to kick the door open, and you see, it's weird. You know that Timora is the goddess of luck, and you know most gamblers like appreciate like the luck and just general luck in general. So you get the feeling as you walk in, you thought it was a temple, but now taking a look inside, this is probably a legal gambling den dedicated to Timora rather than an actual shrine. As you see a bunch of like card tables just shattered, cards are all around the ground. You do see the symbol of Timora every now and then, some damage, but most are encased in gold.
You're
but
telling me this is a casino that looks like a temple?
Mhm. As you walk in,
Is there any water that I'm able to spot?
make a perception check.
Nine plus 2. So
9
11.
plus 2. You do see water leaking from above, but you get the feeling that it's either rainwater or something along those lines rather than actual water.
Search through the temple for feasible supplies.
Make a
I'll go with you.
investigation check. Make an investigation check.
I'll do the same.
Make
Are
an
you guys giving me
investigation
advantage?
check.
Are you guys giving me advantage?
9.
Or
No.
we're all rolling? Okay.
14.
Probably a group check.
17.
17. You are just looking around, Equus. You're not really used to gambling den, so this is kind of out of your nature. Like, this is weird. You two are able to find some stuff. Let me roll some dice here. Copper, you're able to find what seems like to be in one of the drawers that would serve as like the quote unquote like register, for lack of a better term. You open it up, and there's like a sack of coins that you find. You found 20 gold pieces. And for you, Mr. Ryan Peppers, you look around trying to find some supplies, and you find in what used to be a kitchen of sorts 4 rations.
Get the gold and just keep looking.
Right? What is the rest of you doing while they are going about searching?
So it's a holy temple, right?
It's weird. It's a mixture of a holy temple and a gambling den. Make a religion check for me.
Oh, jeez.
Since I'm in the kitchen, can I like see if there's any kind of contraption that can hold-
11.
Actually, never mind. I have one.
Okay, an 11. You know Timora is like goddess that is prayed to mainly by gamblers and some other degenerate stuffs. It's not surprising that a goddess that would encourage gambling would have her own gambling den.
Esclepiana looks around and says under his breath,
Degeneracy veiled under religion.
Can any of you create water?
Let me look into that for a second. My character would know, but the player does not.
Yeah, that's fine. Stitchkin, what are you doing while your friends are searching? And Esclepian makes that remark under his breath.
yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Have I found the safe house where these guys are headed towards?
Oh yeah, you still have hunter's mark on. So let me just give you hunter's mark real quick, because I know it doesn't give you exact location. Or...
Well, I'm following them.
Oh, you're following them? Okay.
Yeah, I signaled for them to head back. Like, it's cool to ditch me and I'll return to you.
Gotcha. Make a perception check for me.
It does have advantage. 23.
Yeah. You keep following the same guy that is like sneaking about, and he's actually getting kind of stealthy. For a second, you thought you lose him, but then you're able to keep on track because of your hunter's mark. Eventually, he gets into another alleyway and into another manhole cover. And this alleyway is nearby. You're not local to the area, so I'll just describe to the area nearby. One moment, please.
Real quick, Ryan Peppers. So I can create water. However, it would be my last spell slot, which is also a level 2 spell slot, my highest. So ideally, I'd be able to recover some spell slots before I create water. But in a pinch, I can, yes.
Okay, never mind. We're not gonna risk that right now.
Stitchkin,
Yeah, I thought I had the ritual tag, but it doesn't.
Stitchkin, as you see this guy and going into the man cover, you're like, okay, they're somewhere around that area. And as you get an eye, like around your vicinity, you realize that it is located nearby a cemetery.
I'm gonna fly over the manhole cover, pretty far above. But Stitchkin is gonna take his claw and like scratch his own leg and do like a spin, and basically spatter the blood on the manhole cover.
Okay.
Is that
He's
to
gonna
mark
just,
it?
yep. And then I'm gonna fly back up and I'm gonna head back to our base. I want to try to beat our guys there because I want to find the dude the Chad who knocked us all out and do horrible things to him.
Alright, so you're gonna fly back to the others?
Oh no, I'm going back to the sewer we were in.
Where we started.
Yeah.
Okay. You go back to the sewer you were in, and your comrades aren't there.
Are the people all like the sick like survivors?
Like you okay, I just want better clarification. You're returning back to where
He's
you're
going
originally
back to the
came out
place
of,
we
right?
all met up in episode 1.
Yeah, the very beginning. Like
I
where this
I
dude
see.
was.
Gotcha.
We brought someone. I thought we don't know the layout of this area though.
Yeah, because we got
Yeah,
kidnapped
we-
and taken away from that
Yeah,
sewer,
we
so
got-
we don't really know where we are relative to that sewer.
Yeah.
But
Well,
maybe
we
he
would've
can find it
known-
with his special bird senses. Magneto perception, right? Like,
I was thinking like we
Oh.
would have known where it is because we went there. You know, we weren't knocked
Alright.
out when we were brought there.
All right, what is your intelligence modifier, Stitch Skin?
-2. I want to
Say
say
again?
though, my wisdom is a +4, and wisdom is survival and tracking.
That is true. Just go ahead and make a general wisdom check for me.
Yes, I will, and that would be a 16.
A 16. Okay. You're trying to fly around, try try to recall information last week of where you guys were at, and you're like, okay, we in Equus entered through like the northern part of this town, and you go towards the area which you hide underneath the van cover like way before episode 1, and you're like, okay, this area which is like completely filled with zombies at this point, with a few escaping out of the city but by like a snail's pace from the crumbling walls and such. You do notice that, and if you guys are looking at the map of Waterdeep, it is the very top, the field ward, if you have access to the map or whatnot, but it's the field ward, which is the very top of Waterdeep. You realize, Stitch Skin, that before, like, eventually the place where you and Equus were at, where, like, eventually everyone, where all the survivors, like, went into the cover, you realize that part of the wall is broken, which never happened before you guys entered. So you're like, something happened with this wall, and that seems a bit off.
Okay. I guess it'll take place after these guys do some stuff, but I'll stick around and do some investigating and figure out how we get back to our hovel here.
Okay. So you backtrack, trying to figure out, like, okay, where your buddies are at and like where the manhole cover is, and you go down towards the cemetery area where you last saw them, and then you go a little bit south, which for the player's sake is in the trade ward. When you're like, okay, my buddies were like in the middle of the trade ward, and did you and Equus communicate of where to go to meet up?
No, but that's our safe. We always have like a dedicated like safe zone, and that's the last place we all like slept and ate, and we're safe.
Yeah, so it's not like we agreed to meet up here beforehand. It's like we know that if we get lost, to go back to the last place we saw each other.
Okay, I just want better clarification.
Yeah.
Alright.
Plus, we do have people like relying on us there. I would assume we have some like tenuous like grasp of like we should protect these people from this murdering.
He knows I'm compelled to protect the weak, and so like I think it's safe to assume I'd be around the people that are clearly sheltering from the zombie horde.
Okay. Alright. Going back to the temple. You guys are investigating, trying to find supplies. You do hear, all four of you, sounds coming from the... It's weird. It's like someone like just like darted off around your vicinity as you try to gather about showing each other supplies that you found.
Was it a slow sound like a zombie or a fast sound like a squirrel?
It's like someone like... What's the best way to describe this? It's like someone like dashed in a certain area, and you notice like some plywood just fall down and crumble where you last heard it, indicating that you probably are not alone.
I want to go back out to Friar and see what's up because he's keeping watch.
He is keeping watch, and occasionally he casts word of radiance silently for whatever that comes, and they just evaporate because he's a cleric. And he looks and says, "Everything alright in there, Equus?"
Yeah, they're looking around in there for loot. I'm not much good at that. I heard a noise, thought I would come out and see what's up, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, no undead things have been going past there. You say you heard a noise?
Yeah, it didn't sound undead, it sounded more like a person or something.
I didn't see anyone.
I think
All
I'm
of us
gonna...
hear that?
Yeah, he said all of us heard it.
Oh, okay.
Is everything alright, Equus? Is someone else in there with you?
I kind of want to like walk around, but I'm afraid of doing it alone. I'm not much of a fighter. I don't know. I don't feel like we're safe here right now after hearing that noise. Yeah, I'm gonna start a little patrol.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead and make a
wander
perception
around.
check.
Okay.
What are the you three do?
Alright.
I'm gonna say it could be another survivor that's been hiding away in this temple.
I rolled a 12 perception.
Oh, okay. I'll get back to you in a second.
In response to Ryan, Asclepion pulls out his crossbow and his dagger and says,
Or it could be another hostile cultist.
I love the interplay here.
You are a strange man. It's okay though. You're interesting and you keep things lively. What do you think, Copper?
I think you both need to stay quiet.
Oh, I'm like talking quiet in a little group that we're together.
I'm trying to whisper currently.
I thought that was.
I still think that's too loud, even whispering. So I'm just gonna.
I mean,
walk away.
he's been quiet the entire time. He's kind of right.
All right. Then should we investigate that noise, Copper?
I'm ignoring him because I'm trying to sneak and try to stay quiet as possible. So I'm going to try to stealth to see if
Sure, make
whoever's dashing doesn't notice me at all.
Make a stealth check.
Jeez, these guys are talking.
Asclepion says,
You're not a very good team
Ooh.
player.
Nat 20 for 26.
Okay. You're like,
You guys lose track of him.
You guys are just talking, and he turned around and was like, hey, Copper, what do you... Copper?
he pulls a Batman.
I
gone.
guess we'll continue to look for supplies. I'm gonna look for survival. When you look for supplies, do you roll survival?
You make an investigation check because you're actively
Oh.
searching.
Okay. I'm gonna do that again, I guess.
Okay. Investigation.
And a 20.
ooh.
Nat 20.
Nice. You try to find some kind of area in this building that would resemble a church or what have you. You find a small shrine in a dedicated room. It's a little damaged up from the wreckage, but the shrine itself doesn't seem to be. It seems to be well intact. And amongst the shrine, you do see seems like a woman, like grasping her hands, and in the palm of her hands, it acts like a small like pool of water, and there is water in there. You, as a cleric, think that this could be a place where like holy water can be used and stuff. And when you look in the actual water itself, you see 3 gold coins in there.
This is what I'm looking for. Can I try to use the holy? Is it actually holy water or?
Make a religion check.
16.
You're very confident that this could be holy water.
I put some of it on that bite to get rid of it.
As you like cup some of the water, you indicate just based on your clerical power, like, okay, this is holy water. Maybe this will do it. You push upon it, and the holy water, hoping to get rid of the infection. However, this growing like black veins that are kind of spreading ceases for the moment, but it doesn't fully heal the wound. So you don't suffer the effects of this infection condition for 1 full day.
And then can I gather some of that water up for the in my flask?
Yes, you have 1 use of holy water basically to do that. So
Okay.
would you like to
And
take
then
the 3 gold coins or no?
I place 2 gold coins down because it's a shrine of a deity. Granted, it's not my deity, but I want to show respect to that particular deity and thanking them.
You place 2 gold coins, and for a moment, you feel some kind of divinity going through you. Not your god, but you're starting to feel like you have some luck on your side. For your next ability check, you roll with advantage.
So, do I know what room he's in?
Well, what are you doing while he's searching?
I was just gonna go in there and pick up the coins.
Okay. You see Ryan Peppers exit out, seeming carrying some kind of liquid in his flask, and you look in and you see the same thing as I described earlier: a shrine to what seems like to be Tybor with a bunch of gold coins in there.
Asclepion walks up to the pool and then picks up the coin that says, "What a waste!"
You have
Yep. 4 coins.
you have 5 gold pieces, but then you feel some kind of negative force inflict
Oh
upon you.
no!
It's strange. It's like, that
I
feels
didn't think
weird.
it'd work
Something's
both ways.
unsettled. And you get disadvantage on your next ability check.
I
For what
cannot
god?
believe this.
Oh god!
I don't believe in gods.
Who is this guy?
So while I'm patrolling around the building, I want to keep an eye out for plants that are either edible or medicinal. You know, if I'm gonna be walking around, maybe there's some dandelions growing in the grass or something like that. You know.
You do see dandelions growing in the grass, but when you look at where you're finding them, you see like this used to be like a. You see like 3 marked graves along where you see the dandelions, and they read.
They must be gambling victims or something, huh? Outside the casino.
One of them reads Pastor Lawrence, keeper of the Shrine of Timora, and 2 other marked graves. One by Luis Anderson. It's just a random marked grave, and Morgan Devitt. Nothing too special amongst these names in comparison to Pastor Lawrence. But dandelions are growing about, and with your druidic nature, you get the feeling like, okay, these graves have been here for quite some time since there's dandelions growing from it, and it seems like the earth is using their
And
essence to rebuild
yeah,
itself.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. For my druidic religion, that's the best thing you can do to someone who has passed is incorporate both their spirit and their body into your acts later in life. So, to me, this is of the utmost respect with which I carefully harvest the dandelions surrounding their graves and thank them for their contribution to my life. And I will keep their names with me. I do have ink and paper. I'm going to write them down as on my thank you list, and as I will take those dandelions, which are both medicinal and edible. So thank you for that.
Damn, got me emotional. Holy hell!
Like it's for real. Like I don't want people to think I'm like shitting on their graves. Like to me, this is the best I can do for them since they're gone.
Tell me, Icarus, what is your passive perception?
12.
12. As you're carefully picking up the dandelions and like thanking like for the death's contribution, you hear the noise coming from seems like to be a secondary floor of this abandoned tunnel, and you're like, what? And you could have sworn you've seen a humanoid silhouette of somehow. You get the feeling you were being watched.
They're in the fucking rafters. I'm going back inside to tell these guys. I don't want to like yell out to them because that would alert the guy. I'm gonna calmly walk indoors after harvesting them. I don't want to alert the guy. I don't want him to know I'm being watched. I'm gonna harvest them and I'm gonna take them inside, and I'm gonna calmly say, "Oh, Friar, I found some medicine for you." Like I'm just casually taking care of my friend, like I didn't notice that guy. But actually, I'm gonna go indoors and say, "Yo, there's someone on the second floor watching us."
All right.
We did hear it a minute ago. Someone was dashing around. It sounded like.
Yeah, and they're upstairs.
Can
I
sneak
whisper.
up there?
Oh, you came out of stealth?
No, I mean I just.
Well, I was gonna say, what would you like to do, Copper? Now that
When I
you
heard the
just pulled a Batman
footsteps,
trick.
I went into stealth, so I wasn't being watched. But I was pretty much like trying to find out where that person had went. So I'm investigating, like just
Okay,
stealthily.
gotcha. Make an investigation check.
Do, 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 do. 14.
14. All right. You go up to what seems like to be stairs. Well, there were stairs. You have to make a leap to get to the second flooring. Like you, as a monk, just wall climb. You then go up to the secondary floor, which it seems like to be some sort of area where there used to be rooms. And as you go up, you just see like a dash, like going from one room to the other.
I'm going to sneak up to where I saw the person go into.
Stealth
Gonna
check.
have my spear ready. I'm gonna peek. I'm actually gonna
check.
throw my hat across the room and see what happens. Like across the doorway and see if they react to it.
You throw it across the doorway. Some time has passed. Nothing happens.
I'm gonna cross over, pick up my hat, and I'm gonna enter the room.
Stealth check.
21.
21. You stealth around the corner and you carefully open the door to see what's in. But we'll come back to you in a second. Let's go back to where Stitch Skin is currently at. You said that you wanted to investigate the area in which everyone retreated to the sewers, right?
Yeah, I want to find another path to where we're holed up.
Okay. So, as far as looking above, like having a legit bird's eye view, uh, as far as other than like going through these manhole covers, you indicate like, okay, the general direction is that we're north, and we gotta somehow make our way through the sewers north, unless you want to try to traverse like the surface. You could clearly do it, and you and Ryan can definitely do it because you're Eric Cochran, you can fly. The rest of your comrades, they might have to get kind of lucky to try to get through multiple districts to try to get there. But you suspect that after, having bird's eye view and everything, that you think that, okay, we got to figure out a way to go north and through the sewers is the safest route to get there. Otherwise, you could try to go on the surface, but it would be more risky for those who cannot fly.
Well, there's no point getting back there if everyone can't. I still gotta try to find a way in though, because I don't know where they are. I'm gonna try to fly through a manhole cover and go into the sewers and path my way back. If it looks sketchy, I'll just fly out.
Okay. You go through the nearest manhole cover, and can you see in the dark?
Yeah, I have like a better form of dark vision too because I'm a gloom stalker.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to read it out to you?
Nah, I trust you. All right.
Okay.
So you go into the manhole cover. You look left and right, and you see. You try to get your eyes accustomed to the dark, but eventually you can see like. You look around and you're like, okay, this is where we went down, and just go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
12.
12? You retrace the steps back to about a week ago where you're trying to get back to the crew, and you hear footsteps that are walking towards your general direction that's coming around the corner of one of the sewers. What do you do?
I'm gonna stealth.
Stealth check.
15.
15? Okay.
Another thing for Dread Ambusher, or not Dread, Gloomstalker magic. If they don't have dark vision, it like counts as me being like borderline invisible. I gotta find the exact wording. I apologize. If it's not relevant now, continue.
Alright, so you stealth. You see a light coming from the end of the tunnel, and it's some guy holding a lantern in one hand and a longsword in the other. This you could tell this is like one of the guards that are protecting them, and right behind one of the guards is that motherfucker Carter. You were asleep when the explosion happened, but you're surprised that Carter's there and he's perfectly safe. And you just hear the conversation going, "Is this the right path? Where have you seen the undead, Carter?" "Well, it seems like they'd be coming in through the sewers. I don't know how that's even possible." "I don't know. We should probably close up those broken barricades just in case," he says. "But come this way." And he continues they continue the path, walking past you. You remain unseen by this.
Stalk them like a creature in the night.
All right, you stalk them like a creature of the night, and we'll go back to the temple. Coffer, as you open the door, stealthily trying to do it, you see some magic going on. You see a half-elven woman who is as pale as a ghost, and with black veins kind of like going through her entire body, and you can tell she's casting a spell of some sort, and she is in this magic circle. She has blonde is either blonde or white hair. You aren't too sure because, like, you know, the coloration is off. But you see that the clothes are somewhat mage's clothes, but very much tattered.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the stones that I used for my slings, and I'm gonna throw it down the hallway so it could ricochet down the steps behind me from where I came from. And then she hasn't noticed me. It seems like I'm gonna. How big is the circle that she's in the middle of?
She's crisscross applesauce, so it's like basically circling around her entirely. And there's like glowing arcanes as if she is trying to cast a spell of some sort.
After I ricochet that down, I am. Could I throw a rock by her foot to distract her, and then when she turns around, dash to put my short sword by her throat?
You can try. Let's see, what kind of check would this be? Go ahead and make a regular dex check for me.
11.
11. You throw the pebble on the ground. She doesn't seem to be too distracted. She's still in the process of casting her spell.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna sneak up and then hold my blade around her neck, and then she doesn't. I'm trying to get her to stop this spell. This isn't.
Go ahead. As you try to like creep up and try to like go behind her, all of a sudden, there's just this magic barrier, like you're like, what the fuck is going on? And the guys below hear it, and Friday Photo's like, something's wrong. You guys go check it out. I'm gonna check it down here.
Okay, that means I guess we're heading up there.
All right. As soon as you hit Copper, the woman hovers and turns around and then looks at you, and she says, "Who are you?"
I'm just a traveler. Who are you? And what are you doing?
I am resting, as you can see. You can tell at this point that she has half-elven ears.
This doesn't look like resting. I've seen a lot of things, and this doesn't look like resting. This looks wrong.
At this point, the rest of the party catches up, and you guys do also see this interaction between Copper and this mysterious half-elven woman.
Do I? You said she had black veins. Would I see that and
She has
recognize
black
it as
veins. I'm a little
black
suspicious.
veins as mine?
Yes.
Or
yeah, it's the exact same black veins as you, but it seems like it's scattered throughout her entire body, and she is as pale as a ghost.
she's infected like me.
We're gonna fix you, buddy. Don't focus on it. We're gonna fix you.
Infected or the cause of this? I don't know.
Asclepion responds by aiming his
She
crossbow.
She says, "Stop," and then you see like sigils come on her hands, like appear, like she's like ready to prepare a spell. She says, "Who are you guys? Why are you here?"
Well, I am Ryan Peppers, and I am a cleric of the Moon Maiden.
And she like points like one hand at you, Iquus, and she's like, "And you, half orc?"
Sorry, what was that?
She points like one of her hands, who has like an arcane symbol on her hand. She points at you. She says, "And you have work. Who are you?"
My name is Equus. I came to this town seeking opportunity, but all I found were zombie
She
hordes.
interrupts and she says, "Now who are you?" And she points at Asclepion.
Asclepion says,
My name doesn't matter. The only thing that you need to know is that those hands better go
What's your
down.
name?
Asclepion notices that she's getting a little intense.
I don't feel comfortable telling you that.
I'm still aiming my crossbow. We're in a standoff right now.
Should never give your name to potentially fey creatures.
Does a 12 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. She tried to cast it she casts a firebolt at you. You just dodge out of the way, and it's like a big explosion behind you, like, scattering about. Luckily not like igniting anything out in fire. She's like, "Who are you? The next one will be towards you and your friends."
My name is Asclepion.
Asclepion realizes that things are getting a little crazy.
Yeah. She then points a sigil at you, Copper. She says, "And you, Dragonborn?"
I am Dragonborn as far as you are concerned.
Same situation as me.
She's gonna cast suggestion on you. Make a wisdom saving throw. She swirls her hand, and her purple sigil turns into the pink, and she seems to cast some kind of charm spell.
That's a nat 1. That's great.
Why are we
it's kind of funny.
Why are we taking this?
She
You're like,
says, "Now." She says, "Now." She said, "Now tell me your name."
Copper.
Are you and your friends a threat? She continues to question you.
We're just
Depends
looking
on
for
you.
supplies and hoping that this was a temple that could heal this infection. And I point to my shoulder, the same as you have.
The Stitch Skin would have attacked 5 minutes ago.
I was tempted.
Copper, I just think it's so funny that instead of giving your name, you give your race when your name is literally your sub race.
No.
She, at this point, looks around. Make a persuasion check, Ryan. To try to convince her to calm the fuck down.
If she doesn't, I'm about to start firing, man.
6.
Put
What's your
those
roll?
hands down.
6. It wasn't great, but I was telling the truth.
She does see it. She look at you, and she does pay attention. She says, "I see. So you are here for the same reason as I am." She's still kind of hesitant as far as like whether to trust you or not.
And what if we work together in trying to find a cure for this sickness that we have? I can tell you that there's a shrine in the other room that if you place the water on it, it seems to slow the spread.
Speaking stick.
You
Asclepion
so you can
Asclep-
trust me.
Asclepion pipes up and says,
Take her in. Do you see her? She could turn at any moment. You're insane.
I'm only protecting myself as far as you're concerned. You're strangers and intruders to where I'm currently staying at. She's still pointing the sigils at you guys.
My apologies, miss. We don't mean to intrude. We're merely seeking shelter, as you have found here. My apologies for our bracingness, our chilled nature, as the zombies not made us friendly. You understand?
Not to mention we just got attacked by a cultist people. So we're a little iffy with strangers.
I'm sure you're really nice, though.
I tried to assist, basically.
Yeah, real nice until she starts eating our flesh.
Alright, so go ahead and roll with advantage since Ryan Peppers is trying to help you convince her.
Awesome. Is this like persuasion?
Persuasion check, yes. Roll with advantage because Ryan's helping you out. And you feel some divine essence coursing through you as Ryan says these words.
The high is a 17.
Okay. She kind of starts to put the sigils down, just a bit for them to disappear. You still see that the circle around her is still being active though. And she says, and you're not here to loot or anything like that sort.
No, we don't loot where people live, right? If like that empty casino over there, yeah, we were looting around there. But you live here, we're not trying to steal from you. We're honest people just trying to make our way in this fucked up world, you know?
We honestly didn't even know you were here until we heard the commotion.
What commotion?
When Copper made all that noise when he was approaching you.
I've been here trying to cast a spell.
Wait, you weren't the person on the roof?
Huh?
No.
He threw he threw a pebble to alert us that there was something going on.
Okay, I'm going on watch again.
At this point, you do hear more rustling coming from above you guys. And this is when we're going to end this session tonight.
Motherfucker!
Alright, so we'll find out what the hell is going on next week. So until then, guys, check out the Pocket Dimension. Join the Discord. There's plenty of games going on and just a great community in general. If you would like to buy this Dead Realms merch, you can hit the Redbubble link underneath. And also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where we're going to post like other future videos and just being able to be more accessible to you guys. So hit the subscribe button underneath. So until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Tyler, does she have like a split personality or something? Like she forgot that what?
No, that literally wasn't her, bro. It's someone else on the roof, bro. This is fucking insane.
We were sitting there talking to her. I'm so confused right now.
Oh my god, this is a great session. And also, like, our party dynamic is amazing. Holy crap. If this were a sitcom, I would watch it, and we're all improving this shit. Like, holy fuck, we're hilarious.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. It was a really good